Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to race number 13 of the Camping World Truck Series Mondays of Thunder Offline Series event at Texas Motor Speedway. I am finally not alone in the booth. Joined here by my fellow companion Tristan Grace in the number 2 Hooters F-150. Or no, wait, sorry, Dodge Ram. I think you're switching back to Ford next season, are you not, Tristan? Or was
yes,
that just...
they look like shit.
the Fords or the Dodges?
My Dodges, not anybody else's Dodges. I decided I was gonna be, I'm gonna be built different, and now they just look like shit.
Yeah, alright, well, Tristan's making a pure move based off looks.
I'm just slowly trying to change all my schemes into F-150s, but all the badges are taken off, but it says Dodge.
Yes, I've noticed that. I don't know if anyone else has noticed that. Probably not, but
I never heard you say anything about it, and I was like, let's just see how long it takes for him to notice.
oh, I definitely noticed. I don't think I brought anything up. Maybe one time, but as you can see here, this is clearly a Dodge in Ford clothing, I guess. But you do have a truck in the qualifying race here. We'll try and make this as quick and painless as possible for everyone. Let's get into qualifying and see how everything's going to stack up for our qualifying race. And we got Ramirez and Jacobs 1 and 2. You got Green 3, Banks 4, and your girl Virginia is right there in 5th. Yeah, you know, man, my trucks are fast, but they just don't seem to be fast enough to get out of these damn things. They've been in there all season, and come race time, they just don't seem to. They just don't seem to do too much to get any points. But I don't know. It is what it is. My truck program sucks, and can't control that. Anyway, let's get this race over with. 14 laps. I'm gonna try and 20 seconds. We'll just let the clock run out. Matt, no, I probably didn't get your upgrades in. When did you submit them? I thought I didn't have any requests for upgrades. Don't see anything.
Drivers, start your engines!
You just requested it. I don't see anything on there since July 30th.
He's just joking.
Yeah, well,
Just joking.
I don't take this league lightly. I take everything serious. Alright. Qualifying race. These guys are awfully close together on the warm-up laps. Now, during testing, this is the 2020 version of Texas. I was testing this. Yeah, I'm expecting a little bit of carnage come the main event. I don't know what's going to happen for this qualifier. I do have cautions turned off. I'm just going to triple check. Yes, I do have cautions turned off this time. I'm not going to make the same mistake twice. But, yeah, nice. Thanks, Matt. You really did have me there. But,
I noticed it was... so this isn't the one we ran last season? I guess not, since it's in the evening.
The one last season, the pit entrance under green was a little bit messed up. You saw, like, trucks driving through the infield and stuff. But this one is... the racing's good. The aggression levels are high. One of my practice tests I did on here, there was a massive, and I mean massive pileup. It was probably, I would say, at least 30 trucks were involved, so I hope that doesn't happen here tonight, but I am expecting a few trucks to not escape this one.
And here we are for first green flag. Our green flag for the qualifying. Yeah.
14 laps, 1.5 miles a lap. It's gonna go by super quick. They usually do. Just remember, the top 5 advance to the main show. Right now, that looks like it's going to be Carson Hubbard with Jacobs, who's slid back quite a bit. Looks like that high line isn't moving too well. Jacobs moves over to the hot spot now with Love Jr. looking to take over 5th. Ooh, looks like the high line did gain a little bit of momentum there. Jacobs now shooting right up to the front. Now, these trucks are pretty much flat out first few laps on a run here. So expect these ones to go by pretty quickly. This is the reprofiled Texas Motor Speedway, where turns 1 and 2 are slightly less banked than 3 and 4, and you certainly feel it when you're racing this track. It doesn't look like too much on TV, but 3 and 4 are easily flat out pretty much the entire run. It's 1 and 2 that are a lot more technical. See, Love Jr. still shown in 6th last time by, but he might get past the 9 here. Oh, that outside line gets quite the run. Coming off of 2, not so much off of 4.
At 3 and 4, it seems like that's where a lot of grip is for these trucks, so that outside line doesn't work as well as the inside.
Yeah, pretty evenly matched, I would say, between high and low line throughout the entire lap anyway. This truck's able to keep more speed up on the high line, I guess, or the second line. Club Junior officially takes over that 5th spot now, knocking Ramirez out. Look who we have here, that 14 Twitch truck of McCoy, looking to make his 2nd start. I think he finished 2nd in his first race and hasn't qualified for another one since, so interesting to see if he can sneak his way in.
Yeah, that would be nice to see. That's a beautifully crafted Twitch truck right there by our good friend Urban Vargas.
A lot of pretty trucks out in the field here. It's a shame we're only going to see 5 of them make it through, as McCoy takes over 6th now, once again, I guess. 92. Oh, I just activated my sticky keys, my bad.
And they always
No,
get
no,
me.
I was hitting, I hit shift like 5 times there trying to exit out of something, and it activated my sticky keys, so that's why that scared me too. I thought the game crashed. Alright, wow, things change quickly here. We are halfway through this one, and
Wow.
looks like Virginia Brock is fighting for her life to get into this one in her Tractor Supply Co. / OnlyFans truck.
Ash Colt 45.
This is low-key probably my favorite team of the season. It only makes me wonder what Virginia really looks like. If she's got an
She's
OnlyFans
definitely a
page.
brunette.
Yeah,
She's
I was.
definitely a
Oh yeah,
brunette.
I was thinking the same thing, but
Lily Holmes is definitely a blonde.
just something with the name, you can already picture what they look like without even knowing what they look like.
Yeah. Danielle Baker, definitely a brunette. Darker skin.
Alright. Got Jacobs on the high line. Looking to get some momentum. Barely hold. I got a feeling this 5th place battle is going to go right to the line. As now Chris Green takes over.
Oh man, that is a huge run from the 89 and the 0 right there.
Something coming off of 2. If you're on the high line, you get such a run.
Whatever made you choose the 89 anyways? I know that was your old number in MOT before you switched to 9, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, so 89 is actually my birth year. So that was a pretty easy one for me to come up with, and as a matter of fact, I don't think I've told anyone this, but I am switching back to 89 for next season. The 9
wow.
is up for grabs. I don't know, I just like changing it up, but 89 is probably my favorite number, so I'm just going to stick with that for a while now. Right, we're pretty much back where we started from after 11 laps completed. We got the 89 and 9 back up front. Chris Green in 3rd. Virginia Brock, you can tell the trucks have slowed down now in 1 and 2. They're definitely lifting off. They're not flat out anymore. They look a lot slower.
Hey. Banner still hasn't been changed on Noah Cole's truck. It still says Cole on it. It doesn't say Banks.
Hey man, vinyl wrap ain't cheap. And Daniel Banks, I guess, hasn't really proven himself to get some extra vinyl funding to change the name on the back. Either that or HRI is in some serious financial issues. Lap 13, 2 to go. And who is in 5th right now? It's so close.
3 wide through the corner right there.
God.
Look at that.
JD Yoho trying to sneak himself in.
Come on, JD.
He hasn't been in the front all night, and here he is right at the end.
JD Yoho.
Final lap.
By day, driver by night.
They're definitely slower now. After 14 laps, it's about half a fuel run. Here we go. We're going to find out who's who coming to the line. Virginia Brock right up front. Well, looks like she's going to be clinching her way in.
Here it is.
John Jacobs trying to fight for his race up on the high line.
The line. Who's it gonna be?
And I think Love Jr. got the last spot. Let me just wait. No, sorry. It was the 89 of Jacobs. Wow. Super close.
Wow.
Super, super close. So, looks like our pole sitter and I think second row sitter, Banks and Ramirez, are knocked out. Love Jr., valiant effort, just came up 500 short to make the show on this one. I'm gonna write down my usual top 5 here, starting with the 42, and we're gonna re-rack and set everything up for the main show. Just a minute, so hang tight with us, guys. Congratulations to the trucks advancing, and we'll be back shortly. Back now after our 5 drivers have made it into the show. We got the 42 of Virginia Brock, the 92 of Chris Green, the 0 of Hubbard, 8 in the JD Yoho machine, and we got the 89 John Jacobs, all qualifying for this one. 40 trucks tonight, and this is the final race in the first round, the round of 12 in this season. So I know, Tristan, you don't have any trucks in the playoffs, but how are you feeling about the other guys' chances tonight?
I feel like this could be the night where everything changes, you know, just like last year here at Texas, where we had Carlos Perez get taken out in that late race crash.
Yeah, that was pretty much the end of his season. And we also had who was it that got injured from GMS?
Oh, Liam Tanner.
Liam Tanner. Oh, it was replaced by his twin brother. Jeff, was it Jeff? Yeah, that was a memorable race. Definitely ended the playoff road for some early favorites in the regular season. And speaking of which, we got Danielle Baker 4 points under the cut line. Jennifer Johnson, who's had a pretty good season up to this point, 11 points under the cut line. Trip Chase, probably, if not the most shocking, because I think he's probably had the most successful season from all the guys under the playoff, or out of the cut line there. He's 18 points below, and our massive wild card for tonight is Vladimir Makarov, who's looking to have another first round elimination tonight. He's 35 points under the cut line, and he pretty much needs a win to get in here. But that guy, he's pretty clutch, so he can definitely pull out a win if he needs to. On the other hand of that, we got Brody Walker 4 points above the cut line. Chris McRae is 9, and Jess Hanna also 9 points. Lily Holmes, Greg Shetner, Keith Hughes, all very safely above the cut line, about 22 to 29 points in that bracket. So unless they have a complete failure earlier on in this race, I think they should be safe. So it's all to play for here. For realistically, we got about 6 drivers that could change hands very easily with a good or bad finish tonight. And adding in that 7th driver, Vladimir Makarov, with a win, that could, you know, ruin a lot of guys' chances tonight progressing on to the next round. This is probably the hardest round, I think, in the playoffs. If you're not consistent and you have one mistake, it could easily just go away, and that's kind of what happened to Trip Chase. He's had one, I think, bad race. The other 2 have been mediocre and pretty good. Vladimir Makarov has had 2, and you can see, you know, that's the reason why he's so deep in a hole right now. But this is definitely the hardest one. You got 12 other opponents, and they all want the top 8 spots. I'm very curious to see how Danielle Baker can get on with this. She looks like she's 3rd right now in the speed charts, so this is very much a Manitude Motors track, and I'm thinking we could see Danielle progress to the next round. What do you think?
Well, looking at the point standings here, the most recent ones, looking at the average finishing positions, Brody Walker is the only driver with an average finishing position outside of the top 20. With Danielle Baker having the 3rd best average finishing position, I could definitely see that 8th spot, changing hands tonight.
Yeah, and don't forget, we do have 2 of our previous playoff drivers have won. We have Jason Donovan and Guillermo Alvarez, who won the last race as well. So the 2 guys at the top of the points are in fact clinched. So they don't have to worry about anything tonight. They can kind of just take it easy and get some prize money for the teams. But I'm excited to see what's going to happen. It could all easily just go away with one mistake tonight. All right, enough pre-game talk. Let's get into qualifying and see where things are going to stack up tonight. I know we're kind of on a time crunch tonight. We have an IROC series race later on at starting around 8:30 practice, so it's about 70 minutes from now. We do have a bit of a clock to beat. I think we should do it, though. How about that? Matt Moss right on pole. Lily Holmes and Danielle Baker, all 3 Manitude trucks in the top 4. Keith Hughes breaking up that little party. And another Hughes Motorsports entry in the top 5. And where's that 84 truck? 15th, so that's a little bit of a surprise. These 2 teams, Hughes and Manitude, are expected to probably be the favorites tonight. They have the most upgrades and easily the strongest trucks when it comes to super speedways and speedways.
You do have to remember, Alex, Texas is one of Blue Dog Racing's best tracks. This was the site of our last win.
True.
So I could see that 2 truck running very well today.
That looks like you're right down there in 18th. We got Sam King in 26th, and where's our girl Virginia, 39th? Leaves much to be desired in her qualifying, but I'm sure she'll make up a little bit of ground come the race. 54 laps here, and the pit window is about 31 to 34 laps, so we should only see one pit stop tonight, at least minimum, unless there's a couple cautions, which I'm expecting.
Oh, I see somebody that I've not seen up front in quite a while. I see the 13 of Tanner Woodward back there.
That's
It's an
right.
interesting sight to see.
Just take note of the truck in 6th place there. That gray and black kind of Dale Jr. Ghost truck of Chris Green. So he was in the qualifying race, and look where he is at. Don't count out the number 85 there, Makarov. I told you earlier, he's the must-win. He's right there in, I guess that's 7th position. This will be a very interesting race, and there's Trip Chase also not necessarily needing a win, but a win would definitely put his mind at ease. We are racing at Texas.
Moss getting a bit of a push from Lily Holmes on the inside there, as well as
Hoping your team
Andrea
owner
Noah
never hurts your job situation, that's for sure. Matt Moss out with an early lead. The 83 truck of Cole on the outside, getting around his teammate and team owner. This will be a good way to see if that outside line is actually faster. Like Matt Moss is easily taking back the lead. Lily Holmes. Comes Makarov from 7th to 2nd in 2 laps.
Oh my goodness.
This man is on a mission
What a
tonight.
run.
He knows what he needs to do. Just a matter of doing it. I think of all the mile-and-a-half tracks out there on the NASCAR circuit, I would say Texas is probably one of my favorite. It's I'm not so much of a fan of the reconfiguration. I did like the old Texas better. It was just hella fast. But even the new configuration does add a little bit of variance from the 1.5 mile tracks out there. It's interesting. It's still very fast. Not the fastest 1.5 mile anymore, but it's right up there. I think Atlanta still holds that crown now. Far off, just holding the course right now until we can get a better run on Matt Moss. Of course, Matt Moss is not battling for any championships. He's strictly here for wins. John Hunter Nemechek experiment, as I call it. They are 3 wide off of 2. The 84 truck, Donovan, a little bit slower than the rest of his teammates, but he's coming up quick. Stryer having a few good showings lately. Now WK Racing hasn't had much to celebrate with this season, but with Alex Stryer getting knocked into the qualifying races, battling out of the qualifying races, and now putting on a string of good performances, it's something to be proud of. Here comes our boy Tristan.
Making that inside line work. His teammates nowhere to beat now.
You haven't changed this one over, I noticed. Is that for any reason, or you just haven't gotten around to changing it?
Just felt like, just looked good as it was, aside from the grill.
See, I do like... I'm not so much of a fan of the version you have, but the one behind you, the McRae, the ones that GMS and
Yes.
Snow Owl have used. I do like... I think this is the T-Rex version. It kind of just reminds me of the older Dodge Rams. That more bold front end.
Yes, I believe that's where I made my mistake, but the fact that we switched over from Ford to Dodge this season and now we can't even make the playoffs, it's definitely no coincidence that Dodge is slower and we're not getting the factory money that all the other teams have been given, such as GMS and
BRM.
BRM and all those other winning teams from this season.
BRM has done quite well with the Dodge changeover, I must say. GMS, I'd say they were pretty good last season, but they're far more consistent this season, even though I don't think they've gotten a win. I'd say they've overall had a much better season with the Dodge support. I will agree with you 110% that your team has struggled immensely this season, at least in the Truck Series. Xfinity, not so much, but everyone's kind of on even playing ground there. But yeah, to go from a Final Four spot with your guy and not even make the playoffs, that's gotta sting.
Sting it does, Alex. Let's not forget an even harder fall from grace, Mike Carroll. Just an unbelievably dismal season for him.
Yeah, you gotta feel for Mike. I don't know if it's lack of funding or what, but ooh, very close quarters there between Trip Chase and 41 of Foster. Those are some fun camera angles. How about that sun flare off of 2
no
here?
No kidding, man.
When I first saw it, I was kind of blinded. Oh god. That makes it look like feel like you're looking directly into the sun. Let's pay more attention to the front of our field here. We got the 82 who's gained some momentum back. The 5 is starting to climb up a little bit. The 17 is falling back ever so slightly. But all Mattitude motor trucks in the top 5 right now. Something Matt hasn't really been able to do too much, not as much as I thought anyway, with all their upgrading. I really thought they would grab this season by the horns and, you know, make it it's you know what. But a lot of bad luck has plagued this team. A lot of unnecessary DNFs and pitting strategies just kind of cost them a lot of money, points, and more importantly, wins. Off looking down low on Keith Hughes. Got a nice breakaway here, a 3-truck pack. 3 different manufacturers, gotta love it. No Dodge, unfortunately.
Oh well.
Still no caution, which is nice to see, because I really thought this would be kind of a bang-up race. I'm glad to see we're at least getting some long green flag racing here at the start. It's Keith Hughes looking low on Matt Moss now. Makaroff deciding to go with Keith. Eventually thinking that maybe the 82 is a weaker truck and maybe an easier pass overall after they can finish passing Matt. If Makaroff wins this, I am honestly going to be overwhelmed with excitement, because nobody would have ever predicted that he could do it. In such an underdog most of the season, he's had, I think he has a win, but still, even so, for him to be in such a hole and to come back and win, you know, a must-win race, it's incredible. Looking at the stats, no, he does not have a win, so I may have dreamed that. Not looking low on the 85 one more time. See who the 82 decides to go with.
82 can just break away from those two. He should be sitting pretty good.
They keep battling each other, and looks like Keith has some support for the rescue here. Jason Donovan, a man who has clinched his way in already. Ooh, very aggressive move by Makaroff. That's what Keith wants to see. Donovan is coming. Where did Donovan come from? He started 15th.
It's unbelievable.
Just gonna take a look at the fastest lap times here. We got 29:33 from the 25 truck of Brody Walker. 82 is 7th fastest. Didn't see the 48 up there. 48 has the 15th fastest time. Maybe more long run speed than short run speed under that 82. Alright, let's wander back here. We can see the two Manitou trucks kind of battling it out here for 6th and 5th. We got another Sovatech race. It looks like this track is favoring 3 teams here. We got Sovatech, Manitou, and Hughes all kind of dominating the top 7, and then we have a Jarvie Motorsports entry just randomly in there.
And Gordon in the top 10.
And then we got, I know, he's had such a terrible season. It's kind of nice to see one of my guys up there, but there's a long way to go for this race for him to mess it up, so we'll see what happens. We got another Hughes Motorsports entry of Cole right there in 9th, and then another Sovatech entry in 10th. We got some HRI guys coming in there with Francisco Guerrero and Woodward. And we got your Blue Dog. Should I call them underdogs this season?
Definitely.
There's our boy Alex Dreyer battling for hopefully a top 10 this evening. Jack Foster still leads the Rookie of the Year points over Jason Donovan. Jack Foster in that gold-colored Chevy further back there. Had a pretty consistent season so far. Sure, team owner Vince Curtis is very proud of what this young man's been able to do for him. But Jason Donovan, with his great finishes as of late, looks like he might take over the rookie points after this one. Julia Powell doing very well for her rookie campaign as well. She's in 3rd, about 4 points behind Jack. And we got Daniel Gill in that 93. He was so dominant last season. I say this every race because I'm just shocked at, you know, what a driver change can do. This truck won 4 races last season, all in the regular season, and Gill has struggled, but maybe not so much as of lately. He's started to come around a little bit. Not really close to being under 35th in points at all, but he's holding his own as of late.
Yeah, he's definitely been able to get comfortable in that truck as the season's going on. But he's still nowhere near the absolute dominance that Carlos Perez had.
That's for sure.
I think Carlos still has the most wins in MOT Offline Truck Series history still, with 4.
Yes, I think so. I would say next on that list is Danielle Baker, who I think has 3. If I'm not mistaken. I'm sure Matt will correct me shortly in the chat, but
yes,
I want to say 3. And at least 2 of those have been on super speedways. See kind of the stragglers here. Virginia Brock not really keeping up the same pace she did in the qualifying race. We got Casey Weber here, kind of struggling this evening. We got the 18 of who is the 18? Aiden Wright. And further back we got Johnson here, who's battling for her playoff life. Does not look like she's gonna have what it takes to potentially make it through this evening. Struggling way down 35th. She'll need a caution to catch up. Got the 80 of Charles Baker. Got Lucas Montoya struggling this evening. He's had a few good runs this season so far, and I didn't really mention this earlier, but we got a new paint on the track. It's Sam Money King in that 44. You might recognize him earlier in the season with the yellow and green Dodge / Ford. But this is to commemorate Metallica's Black album, which Tristan Sorry came out 30 years ago exactly today, if I'm not
Their
mistaken.
most successful album by far. 16 million copies have been sold.
And one of those definitely belongs to me. I do listen to this album still regularly. It's a great one. If you haven't heard it,
to me as well.
if you haven't heard any of the songs, I suggest you come out of the rock you've lived under the last 30 years and give it a listen.
You gotta.
Got Chris Green way behind. Not sure what's going on with this truck. He was very strong in the qualifying races, and he actually qualified 6th, if I'm not mistaken, and wow, he's dropped back quite a bit. I wonder if there's some damage maybe on this truck that we didn't catch earlier, but it seems unlikely. He'd be 15 seconds off the pace after 30 laps. Going back to the lead now. Matt said she has 3. I was correct. And how many of those were on a super speedway, Matt? Was it all 3? Was it 2 Daytona, 1 Talladega?
I believe it was all of them.
That's crazy. He's got the gift of seeing the air. Like, was it Dale Earnhardt that they said could see the air? Or was it Junior? I can't remember. Somebody could see the air.
I want to say it was Dale Earnhardt. Or it might have been Junior Johnson. Junior Johnson is the one that sort of like invented drafting.
All I remember is one of the NASCAR games I had as a child. I think it was probably like 07, 08. You could actually like at like some of the faster tracks you could like lock on the draft and stuff. I don't know if you ever remember that, but you could like
I remember I think NASCAR 2011 had that.
Oh, maybe it was 2011. It was around like late 2000s, 2010 era. You could like literally see the air, which is kind of gimmicky, but whatever. It was cool. I would always hit the Intimidator button and shake them loose. Alright, lap 33. We should start to see our first and only round of pit stops coming up either this lap, next lap, one of the laps. You can see the trucks have very much slowed down. 1 and 2, not so much flat out anymore. About 21 laps to go. Still nobody came down pit road on lap 33. Let's see if 34 is any different. No takers up front. Let's see what the speed loss is. They're about a second and a half slower. Between about a 130 flat or 131 flat. Fast is about 129 and a half. Still no takers down pit road. That's quite interesting. Sorry, as I scroll through these guys. Guess they're gonna run these tanks dry. Maybe they can gain a small advantage by only taking a can and a half instead of 2. And we have our first taker, Makarov, down pit road.
85 trying to go with the undercut there.
I think he might get it if he has a good enough pit stop. Let's see if we can do something wider. Again, you're gonna gain about a second and a half by pitting just 1 lap earlier, so you know, if you can get that track position and some clean air, this could be the move of the race if we stay green. Easily gonna take 4 tires and some fuel tonight. No question about that strategy. At least this pit stop. Who knows, we might have a yellow flag come out. That's a little bit of a strategy conflict. As Makarov is underway. The rest of these trucks coming off a pit road. A little bit of tight quarters here as the 48. Matt Moss is now down pit road. That's a little bit better. Kind of, a little bit of, the 5 and 80 are colliding. Oh, and colliding.
What is going on?
Oh,
There's
no.
literally an orgy of trucks.
This is gonna This is definitely gonna cause a tow if and possibly cause Keith Hughes' race. Oh my God!
This is just this is.
Oh, Keith's race is done. Baker's race is done.
She's
Looks
just
like
gonna
Keith.
push him now, and they're what?
Wow. That is a huge biff. from the 5 truck and the 80. The 48 is underway, and the 85 is miles ahead of the 5, or the 48, sorry. He is gone. That undercut worked an absolute treat for the 85 car. Now the question is, will the 5 have such a long tow it costs her, you know, the race? Oh, Matt was even saying he's dreading these pit stops. Oh. Matt, you know what? I'm not even going to take this one. This one's on you. You cursed yourself, buddy. That was not me. I said nothing about the 5 truck for like at least 10 laps before that. 85 is up front. 84 has taken over second place. Looks like all these guys who pit 1 lap prior.
23 is in third.
Yeah, he pit on the same lap as the 85, and look how far ahead he gained. These guys are 5 seconds behind Makarov. This man is now in his own zip code, or the postal code as we say up north. He is gone. We'll see if the rest of the field can gain. Oh,
That's...
that 5 truck is still on pit road. This is game over for her. She is done. That
bell has tolled for the 5's.
Absolutely. Her night is toast. Danielle Baker was the regular season points leader 3 races ago. And to go from such high highs to literally the lowest of low, she's now 39th, and I'd say her playoff chances are pretty much 0. On the other hand, we do have maybe a race for first after all. Looks like these guys are starting to gain on the 85. Hey Matt, if you don't want her, I'm sure there's a bunch of teams that would gladly scoop her up in a heartbeat. But yeah, that's disappointing. That's 2 years in a row our regular season points leader has failed to make it out of the first round. Makarov wants to see this in his rearview mirror. He wants to see these guys battling hard. They're gaining over around half a second a lap, so I think even with the side-by-side battling, he's still a little bit slower without draft.
There goes Sam King.
Sam King.
Put another lap down. Oh well.
17, Matt saying, got hosed in the pit lane. I think she got caught up in a little bit of a mess, but I don't think that's... She's 20th. I don't think that's going
caution.
to... Ooh.
Caution's out.
We got ourselves a caution, boys.
Game has changed.
A caution. Ooh. Huge wreck.
Ooh, Christina Ferguson.
27 involved heavy damage with the 39 of Dennison, it looks like. This is huge. Definitely not what the 85 wanted to see. Christina, if you're still watching, that sucks. I'm sorry. But we're going to go back and see what happened. After we find out if there's going to be any pit strategy. We got about 10 laps to go. Probably have about 7 or 6 to go once they let these guys loose again. I'm gonna go with no pit for these AI guys. I don't think they're gonna pit.
Definitely not. Wouldn't be a very wise move.
I mean, if you're in the back, obviously it makes perfect sense. Oh, hey, the fence kind of lights up like in real life. That's cool.
Yeah,
nice.
that's how I noticed there was a caution.
Nice touch, developers. That's fantastic. And you could literally do anything in this game. That's cool. I don't think I've seen that before. Alright, looks like we have no takers for pit road. Let's go back 1 lap. and see what happens. It'll be the blue 27 of Ferguson and that black and green monster Chevy right there of Denison were the most heavily involved. And off at 2, I don't see anything too strange, and slow-mo this a little bit. Ooh, was the 44?
Oh,
the 44. Oh, that one hurts. It's so much worse than slow motion.
I was afraid that it was.
Well, it looks like that's a little bit of instant karma, at least on the blue. Oh wait, maybe not. Didn't really. Lily Holmes nearly getting taken out. Oh, that would have been real nasty if the 27 came up. At 39, didn't even decide to go around for another lap. He called it. Just getting sucked into his pit lane. Well, that's a shame for both those teams who have kind of struggled. It's not easy when you're coming into the game a little bit later than everybody else, that's for sure. But, you know, they're making the most of what they got. And, you know, they've had some decent finishes so far this season. Nothing, you know, nothing really crazy, but what can you do? Alright, lap 47 should be going green in about 2 laps time. 39.27 officially retired, that's no surprise. Less than 10 laps to go, so it'll be a single file restart. Pretty much leaving the 5 of Danielle Baker no chance to get any laps back. I think, I'm not sure if the 85 was just that much slower, or because he didn't have any drafting help, but he was substantially slower than the 48, the 84, and even the 24. So this will be very interesting. I think, so going back to the playoff standings, I think Danielle Baker's chances are pretty much toast. Jennifer Johnson is a long shot at this point. She's 12 points down before this race. She's now 28th. I'm going to go ahead and cross her off the list too. That pretty much leaves Trip Chase and McCarr off, and Trip Chase is 9th. It's 4 points behind Brody Walker, who is currently 24th. So that would put Trip Chase in easily. Lily Holmes was 1 point. Oh, sorry, I'm looking at the old standings. My bad. That was 4 points. So yeah, he'll be okay. Chris McRae was pretty close to the bubble with just Hannah. They were 9 points off. As we're going back to green here. Here we go. Final restart to decide Makarov's fate in the playoffs. Looks like the 2 is very far off pace. Pulling up the field. Everyone's getting bunched up behind you. Definitely suffered some heavy engine damage from that small little hit there, Tristan.
Back to another episode of Blue Dog Racing.
Oh man, that's 2 of your trucks. Some serious issues, and Matt left nothing to chance. He got around the 85 quickly.
Oh, here comes Jason Donovan trying to look in the inside of him.
Donovan's just here to ruin Matt's night. These 2 drivers don't really have much to gain or lose here, except for, you know, a little bit of prize money and some pride. And how about the 41 of Foster? Snuck his way up there in the top 5.
And Gordon is coming to 4th now.
Gordon's right up there too.
This is just a night for upsets. Noah Cole and Gordon, Cisco.
Not a lot of playoff drivers right now in the top 5. There's only one Just, oh wait, no, there's 0 playoff drivers in the top 5. Or sorry, the 84. But anything that would upset the points. Here comes Trip Chase. It's like, you know, if Makarov isn't going to advance to the next round, then he's going to try. Makarov is just getting shuffled back. Guess that pit stop, you know, pitting 1 lap later kind of made a bigger difference than we thought. 2 laps to go at the line. They're coming off of 4.
Let go. Jason Donovan has the lead.
Matt Moss looking on the low side, but we know that high line moves a little bit better. 1 and 2. Donovan retains the lead.
Look who just popped into the picture, Catalina Schwartz.
Schwartz, where's she been all season? Another Final Four truck that failed to make the playoffs this season. Talk about a sophomore slump as Donovan takes the white flag. Matt Moss looks low. Schwartz is going to go with Matt. Donovan will have the help of Schwartz coming off of 2. And Matt looking like he has the preferred line going into 3 and 4. Donovan getting left out to dry. Schwartz going with Matt, and it looks like Matt may get first. Christian's gonna... Oh, that was very close. That was very close.
Oh my God.
Matt Moss with the victory. I'd say the strongest truck won today. But that was no easy feat for this 48 Loves Chevrolet. That was right down to the line. Trip Chase, the number 4 truck, finishing 4th. Likely lock himself into the next round with that one. Makarov, I think, might have just fallen a little bit too low to make an impact, but valiant effort. Nonetheless, that was very close racing. The first half of this race, he looked like he was determined. We're going to find out if it was enough or not. I'm going to go with no, but that's just my mental math going. Brody Walker, 25th. That is going to be very, very close. Chase, 18 points back. I don't know. It's gonna be close. Whoever has the points in front of him, let me know what you think. Jennifer Johnson, 24th. She managed to gain quite a few spots at the end. Chris McRae. Where did McRae finish? 12th. He should be okay. Let's look a little bit lower. Any notables down here? Obviously Baker, 37th. Tristan almost causing the big one right at the checkered flag. Not a great race for you guys.
If that would have happened, I would have quit MOT offline forever.
Oh my god. Yeah, well, I mean, that was pretty good. I think this version's way better than the other one. I'm pretty sure most of you guys will agree. I can't wait to do Xfinity here. Maybe we will have a big one. Who knows? But I'm glad it wasn't too much of a wreck fest. We had that one little incident. If that happened earlier on in the race and a lot more trucks were closer together, I can tell you that would have been a lot more substantial. But yeah, it is what it is. I'm glad we only had 2 DNFs. Very low attrition race. Unfortunate for Danielle Baker, our regular season champion. Looks like she's going to get knocked out. That'll be 2 years in a row. Regular season champion gets knocked out in the first round. I'm excited to see who the new championship favorites are going to be. It's hard to discount Jason Donovan, kind of a late season push for his bid. But with another strong finish in this round, it's hard to go against my my pick here. I'm going to say Donovan might make the Final Four. But yeah, that's all I got for now. Tristan, do you have any final thoughts of your own?
Pretty good race. You know, I could definitely see us coming back here.
Definitely. And I think it's pretty good. You know, you got good racing. I think it's pretty good. You know, you got good racing. I think overall the first round of the Truck Series was pretty good. We had Mo Sport, Texas, and was it Richmond? So
Uh,
I think it was
it
Richmond.
was Richmond. It was
So
Richmond.
not bad. Pretty good first round we had. Looking forward to the next round. But first we got to do Xfinity. We'll probably do our Xfinity race. What's the date today? Thursday. So
Thursday.
probably by the weekend, maybe Sunday, maybe Tuesday, something like that. But it won't be too much longer. I got some more time on my hands now, at least for a week or two. So we'll try and pump out the next round pretty quick, and we'll go from there. But anyway, thank you, Tristan, for joining me, our first visitor in the booth in a long time. So I'm glad you're back in school. I'm sure you're not, but better for me.
Yeah.
Oh, Matt's going on pit strategy. 1 million. You know what? Honestly, Matt, that was just terrible luck. Going back to it, I mean, there was nothing she could have done there. Absolutely nothing. That was just just getting caught up in some mess coming down pit road. And that 80 just got released because he pit the lap before, and then they nobody wanted to give. That's her pit box right there coming up. And yeah, just a no-win situation. There's nothing pit strategy would have changed there. Yeah, that sure you don't want to see this again, but that was just bad luck. Then poor Keith just getting destroyed in that aftermath. Just see the cause of Lily Holmes's issues as well, dropping about 10 spots. Anyway, folks, that was Texas, and that was the first round of the Truck Series playoffs. I will post the points for the next round shortly. I'm gonna do some IROC racing and online MOT now at Michigan. Gonna be probably one of the better races we've had. I'm looking forward to it. Tristan, you are the first ever winner in IROC. So
yes, I am.
hopefully you can defend your title and put on a better showing than you did 2 weeks ago with that shoddy internet connection. But
that's one of my favorite things about going back to college. That ping's fixing to be like -1. You know what I mean?
There you go. That's what we want to hear. Negative, the negative the ping, the better. But yeah, hope you guys all enjoyed this. We'll see you all for the next one. Have a great Thursday, everyone.